Good morning, everybody. So today we are going to discuss on the borehole problems. The borehole problems are very essential in solving the groundwater issues. So, for example, if we have got three boreholes at three ends of a place, so you know the depth of the boreholes and the level of water, and if you don't know the depth in the third value, by using these problems you can easily find out at what depth the borehole X will give you the water or yield the water. So let us take an example of one problem here. See, here you can see there is a problem. Three boreholes, namely PQR, are sunk at three corners of an equilateral triangle. The sides of the triangle measures 480 meters. Borehole P is west of Q and R is north and midpoint between P and Q. The three boreholes encounter a bed of shale at a depth of 100 meter, 220 meter and 260 meters at PQR respectively. Determine the attitude of the shale bed. Another borehole S is proposed at the midpoint between Q and R. Determine the depth of shale bed at S. So this is the problem that is being given. So here, when we start analyzing the problem, you can see exactly three boreholes, namely PQR, are sunk at three corners of an equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle is a triangle in which all the three sides measures equal distance and also equal angles. So the three sides of the triangle measures 480 meters. So here we have to be very careful. Borehole P is west of Q and R is north and midpoint between P and R. So you can see how exactly we have put the triangle. So P is west of Q, so which means Q will be at the right hand corner of the triangle, for which to west of the Q will be the P, and R is in north. So you can see exactly the north will be the topwards, and it is midpoint between P and Q. So the three boreholes depth have been given. Borehole P measures 100 meters, borehole Q measures 220 meters, and borehole R measures 260 meters. So now here they have given a shale bed. So shale is a sedimentary rock. So this, along these three triangles, 3 points of three triangles, you know the depth and the distance. So they have proposed another borehole at the midpoint between Q and R. So here is the point Q and R, along which they have proposed one borehole. So it is at the midpoint. So we have to determine at what depth the shale bed will be encountered at this point. Yes. So at a depth of P, you get at 100 meters. At Q, you get at 220 meters. And at R, it is encountered at 260 meters. So here, at the exact center point of the Q and R, they have proposed a borehole. So we have to determine the depth of the shale bed that will be encountered at this point. Yes. So let us look how to solve this problem. So the surface diagram, you can see the PQR will be at the ground level. So one will be at 100 meters, Q will be at 220 meters, and R will be at 260 meters. So you can see exactly how the gradient will be seen. So you can see the gradient at the inclination of from PQ to R. The gradient will be increasing very depth slightly. So when we take the gradient, it is taken from P to Q and P to R, because P to Q and P to R itself are the 2 points along which we have to find out, because you shouldn't determine the gradient along QR, because it is the point along which you have to find out the depth. So opposite to which we have to find out, that is P to R and P to Q. So the first gradient P to Q is, so you can see how exactly the distance between 2 points is 480 meters, and we have drawn a surface diagram. So P is 100 meters. So Q is 220 meters on the hole. When we cut it into two parts, it is 100 meters and the remaining is 120 meters. So overall Q depth is 220 meters. Similarly, P to R, which is again, you get a 100-meter depth from P, and to QR, it is 260 meters. When we cut it into two, you get a 100-meter and a 160-meter. So the overall the distance is, or depth is 260 meters. So P to Q, it is 220, that is depth of Q, minus depth of P, that is 100, divided by the distance P to Q, that is 480 meters. So we get 120 by 480, that is 1:4. So the gradient for P to Q is 1:4 gradient. Similarly, when we find out the gradient for P to R, it is distance or depth of R, that is 260 meters, minus depth of P, that is 100 meters, divided by distance between P and R, which is 480 meters. So you get 160 by 480, that is 1/3. So 1:3 gradient. Now the two gradients that are being found out are very essential in solving this problem. So already you know that you just constructed an equilateral triangle P to Q, take a scale of 1:80. So then, so you are going to construct them 6 centimeters, 8 6 are 48. So 480 meters is your length. So 8 into 60, 80 into 6, 80 into 6, that is 480 meters. The scale is being given 1:80 meters. So 1 centimeter equals 80 meters, means for every 1 centimeter you can take a scale of 6 centimeters and draw a line PQ, take a compass, measure 6 centimeters and cut an arc from P and Q. You will get a midpoint where the two arcs meet, that is your R, and then join and complete the triangle. So measure 1 centimeter on either side of PR and PQ. So next, what we have to do is, very important is, you have to find out the gradient. You have to put the gradients in this triangle. So you know that along PQ, the gradient is 1:4. So all along these 4 points, you just measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 centimeters, that is 480 meters. So for every 80 centimeter or 80 meters, or we have got 1 meter, one scale, we have taken the scale in 1:80. So all along PR, it is 1:4 PQ. So all along these 4 points, you get the 4th point is here. You're going to draw a line. You got just a point. Similarly, along PR, the gradient is 1:3. So similarly, 1, 2, 3. So you get a point over here. So 1 point along PR and along 1 point along PQ have been derived. So we're going to join that line. So once you join this line, you get the true strike direction. So this itself is your true strike direction. So then, so draw a line parallel to this true strike direction. So any line which is drawn perpendicular to this true strike direction becomes the true dip. That is PZ, point at Z. So then what happens is, measure the line of PZ, you get 2.8 to 2.9 centimeters. That itself is your true dip. So then what they say is, you have to find out a midpoint between R and Q, Q and R, another borehole. Yes. So draw a line perpendicular to QR which joins at borehole P. So then measure the distance, you get somewhere around 5.2 centimeters. So that convert into the scale, that is 416 meters. So now you have got the distance or depth of the borehole, that is 416 meters. Now when we come to the solving this problem, 1 by PZ, that is distance, that is true dip. PZ is nothing but is your true dip, into PS, that is your another borehole which is being proposed, plus depth of P, because the least borehole will be the one which will always be taken into the consideration for calculation. So that is PZ is nothing but 1 by 2.9 into PS, that is 416 meters, plus depth of P is 100 meters. So when you solve, you get 243.44 meters. So the depth of the shale bed at borehole S is 243.44 meters. So you can see the depth of shale bed at P is 100 meters, Q is 220 meters, and R is 260 meters. But similarly, at the point S, where another fourth borehole is being proposed, you get a depth of 243.44 meters. So when you substitute your true strike direction, you measure this angle, it is north 45 degree or south 45 degree, east is your true strike direction, and your true dip is always 1 in 2.8. True dip is always 1 in 2.8 and PZ is 1 in 2.9. So this is how exactly you are going to solve this borehole problem. So when we say borehole problem is being done, so we can see a small, I'm going to draw it on a borehole, this sharing. So you are going to construct a triangle. You are going to construct a triangle. You are going to drawing a triangle, equilateral triangle in somewhere in this way. So this is borehole P, this is Q, and this is your borehole R. So this PQR, so we derived everything. So when we say, you can see how exactly we can get them. So all along these points, you are going to measure PR, that is 1 in 3 gradient, and along PQ it is 1 in 4 gradient. So we're going to draw a line which cuts in this way. So exactly parallel to this line, you're going to draw a line at P. Now you draw a line that is perpendicular to this PQ. So this is your Z point. This is your Z point. So another point which will be drawn, which is yes, we have proposed the fourth or borehole here. You're going to draw a line that is perpendicular from this point. So now you measure these 2 points. This is PZ, the PZ will be 1.1 in 2.9. Similarly, your PS you measure, it is 1 in 5.2. So you know that scale is already been given 5.2 into 80, because you have taken 6 divisions of 80 meters. So that is somewhere around 416 meters. So then if you continue the problem, you can see how exactly you can know. So this is how you are going to solve the borehole problem. I hope the borehole problem is being clearly understood. Thank you.